conference in March, you will see the real forces for change and the pretenders. And that's why I said I am happy that Museveni has helped us to sieve. So you go to DP, you will know who is for change and who is an imposter, who is pretending. You go to UPC, you're able to see. You will see through all the political parties, including FDC, and you will know. And that's why, if you go to many radio stations that have appeared, you find all the other DCs are supporting Honorable Amuriat, are supporting Nandara, are supporting Ekanya. I have seen many times, even on this show, you will see the spokesperson of government supporting Nandara. Then you will know. Very many other DCs, I was in Western Uganda, they're saying, please, Nandara is right. I saw how the Prime Minister...
About a few months ago, you were in the State House meeting Museveni. The
Prime Minister in Parliament.
Charles,
can I make my point?
Put the facts correct. And we have a video recording. Few months ago, Honorable Mujishe was in State House. You get me? Did it mean that he converted himself to NRM?
What was he doing in State House?
No, let him explain to the country. And he has gone there several times.
You see who arranges now must
No, the facts are very clear. So, did that mean that you declared yourself?
You see, don't give somebody an opportunity to...
Yeah.
To arrange what he cannot
No,
defend.
it is not allegation. The facts are very clear. Yes, we'll publish it. The records are there. You were in State House a few months ago, and you have been going there. You go there in the night with some bishops, with some youths, and you come out with the...
Which bishop?
No, you go there in the night with some group of youth from your conference, and the records are there, and we can parade these youths. So stop pretending and trying to blackmail.
Charles, maybe my intervention would stop.
No.
Hold it a moment.
The reason was...
Hold it a moment.
You see, if the intention was to annoy me so that I don't make my point, you have not achieved it. Charles, this is the dishonest I'm talking about. Ugandans should be able to appreciate who speaks for them, who speaks and acts against them. And we are now going to be left with two political parties. Two political parties. The party of the oppressor and the party of the oppressed. And I am happy that the party of the oppressor, which has a very few people, cannot outrun the oppressed. Because when we start moving, whether we find you in yellow or blue, as long as you behave and act like the oppressor, then we'll deal with you and proceed. Because, Charles, it is disheartening that you have colleagues that cannot even come out and say what the judge has done today is bad. For them, it is okay as long as it favors them. That the judge has failed to make a ruling, that it is okay. I grew up admiring Honorable Ekanya. There was a time he would see that. But because of what is happening in the party, because of what is about to benefit from it, he will not see it. For him, it is okay now. The judge can wait, and then they will say, you see, the function has already happened. That's what they are waiting for anyway.
But did you go to court? You went to court.
Yes, we went to court.
Yes, so you seek justice, should demand that the report comes out.
There's a time we were demanding together, me and you, until...
No, on this matter, you want to hand FDC to NRM by causing it to be deregistered.
So who wants to hand FDC?
The people went to court. By stopping the delegate conference, automatically FDC would have been deregistered beyond tomorrow.
The cadre judges are working for one group, police is working for one group, the army is working for one group, the RDCs are working for one group, and you think Ugandans don't know which group is working against them. So don't take Ugandans for fools. They will know who these cadre judges are working for. They will know who these police and army are working for. And that is why when the journalists were being beaten at the headquarters, the journalists, the other day when they were being beaten at FDC headquarters, police was just watching. They watched just being beaten, commanded by goons within the headquarters.
Let's have Paula, let's have Paula come in. You said maybe you'd break the impasse.
Maybe I break the impasse, but my comment here is that again and again, my party chairman's name has been mentioned, and I think it is fair for me to clarify. The declaration that the president said that he would finish the party, I have said it is in view of the provision that under the Constitution there are two systems. And therefore, those of us, including the president, who lost in the referendum, still wish and dream that we would go there. But going there is democratically. But to me, the problem of my brothers here is that they came from us. Look at the names. The Colonel Besje, the General Muntu, Major Kazora, my mother here, all these were movement cadres. And we warned them that you are going, and because of the internal disagreement here, comrades, let us sit and we resolve it. So the going was on a mere failure to agree on methods of work. We told them that it won't last. It won't last. So what is happening now is right from the birth.
I would like to correct you, sir, lawyer. We disagreed on principle because you were president whom you are defending. Proposed that the presidential term limit, which the Ugandans saw as the one to usher into real democratic governance, be removed from the Constitution. And me, as one of the 21-member commission who traversed this whole country, and all Ugandans were saying, look, the president who doesn't want to leave power is the cause of the failure of democratic governance and our independence in this country. And therefore, we must limit the presidential term. We went to CA, and the thing was unanimously, approved. And come down the road when his time is to come off, he decides that we must remove the presidential term limit. It was not about method of work. And let me tell you, you don't know how many times he himself even called us, me, one of the people, and he told us now that what you disagreed with is already sorted, because what you didn't want is the removal of term limit, but now I've already removed it. Come back and we work together. And I told him clearly, do you know what it means? Do you know what the principle means? If I have disagreed with you on principle, if it is facts or whatever, but on principle, there is no way.
It's nothing personal.
And he himself is the one clear in his book who said that the problems of Uganda are the leaders who do not want to leave power peacefully.
There's a book titled, What is Africa's Problem?
Yes, and now the term limit was with him. We thought we are agreeing with him. And by the way, he had deceived me that he would not interfere with it. Don't cause me to talk.
So Charles, Mom wanted to correct me. I thought I should continue.
Yes, I'm telling you, it is not on methods of work. It is on principle, violation of the Constitution, just like in 1960 Obote time when he
1966?
Yes, when he overthrew the Constitution. And
exactly, that's what I was saying. There is disagreement in a family, in a home, and she has appointed one. Even today, in our movement caucus, we could still have, for example, a proposal of whether or not to abolish death sentence. Okay, just as an example. And people, some will say, let's have death sentence. Others will say, let's abolish. Does it mean you walk away because there's a disagreement? Yes, there was a disagreement over this. And that's why I'm saying that kind of disagreement, which made our cadres walk away, was not warranting. And it gave a still birth. So what is happening now is as a result of our own cadres walking away, and sooner or later, this is what is happening.
And how
now,
that,
to drag the name of the party chairman is that the party chairman aspirations and wishes, including mine, is to say we feel a movement system is good. A referendum said we go multi-party. We agreed. But the Constitution says it is in the Constitution. So what is wrong with somebody wishing to say, I wish we go back? And that is when the president makes such a comment.
That's one opinion. Let me go back.
And therefore he buys everybody in the party.
Let's go back to Honorable Ekanya.
You want to annoy us.
The way you're handling this matter of the disagreement in FDC, where does that actually leave the party?
They are behind the scene discussion. The elders and several professors and friends are reaching out to people of different divergent views. And we believe that in order to develop consensus, sometimes there's need for a defining moment. Some group of people attempted a coup by holding a meeting on the 19th that collapsed flat. Tomorrow's delegate conference will set a new tone. And therefore, after that, we'll reach out and we'll have a united FDC that will be able to engage the dictator Museveni.
So basically, Honorable Kanya, what you're telling our viewers that you want to secure your positions and then invite the people who have disagreed
because
with
they
you.
Decided to boycott the process. We are saving the party.
But how can
without
you say,
tomorrow's election,
how can you
FDC
say,
automatically is deregistered.
How can you say you're saving the party when your chairman, 3 deputy chairpersons, disagree with your position and you're working with 1 deputy chairperson?
You know,
so why is that single individual right and these other 4 are not right?
You remember the story of Galileo?
You tell us.
Yes, he said that the world was round and was executed. So it's not about the numbers, number of people sticking to certain facts. This is a constitutional provision of the party. And for all parties, even in parliament, if after a period of 5 years, elections not conducted, the term of the members of parliament falls flat. In this case, we extended the term for 3 years, and that 3 years ends on tomorrow without having a new structure. The people purport to really love this FDC.
Ekanya,
yes.
Should FDC hold elections for the sake of holding elections, or should it walk the talk of democracy?
We are walking,
if there are disagreements.
Now, what's democracy? We agree to conduct...
Is it just voting?
No, it's not about voting. We agree to extend the term to 3 years. After that term, the National Council directed the Electoral Commission to conduct election. A group of people decide to say we are not interested in participating in the election. And knowing very well that beyond 6th October, the party will automatically be deregistered. And therefore, FDC will not exist. Some of us decide to ensure that this election takes place. We save the party. We call them and have dialogue thereafter.
Let's take a break. We'll pick this conversation up in a moment.
Frontline. It is time to listen. Let me take you on a journey through color. Discover new world beyond the ordinary. Switch on your imagination. Let me take you on a tour. Ordinary is boring. Switch it up a bit.
Ordinary is boring. Our paint is not. That's why Duracoat Color Mania machine gives you up to 4,000 amazing color shades. Visit your nearest dealer for more information today. Duracoat. Ask the experts.
We all need light in this life, and at Lighting City, we make sure we light up your world in the way that you deserve, with the widest range of classy and unique selection from all over the world, with our customized products like Lighting City chandeliers, wall lights, Lighting City outdoor lights, spotlights and strip lights, bedside lamps, floor lights and garden lights. We also deal in electrical items like switches, electrical cables, and so much more. Find us in Kampala, 5th Street, Industrial Area, Chinese Business Hotel, opposite Mosque. Lighting City, the 21st century electrical and lighting.
Better steady, be better.
7 out of 10 of us have lost a substantial amount of money to fraudsters. Money we could have used to pay rent, invest in small businesses, clear fees, or send to mama in the village. Better steady and protect what's yours by being vigilant with your virtual transactions. Keep your PIN to yourself and only take calls from registered customer care numbers in case of telecom issues.
Better steady, be better. In partnership with Uganda Communications Commission, Bank of Uganda, MTN Uganda, Equity, Uganda Bankers Association, Post Bank, United Media, Stanbic Bank, and MTN Momo.
Water, please. Can I pay with Momo?
No.
Ha. Hey, can I pay with Momo? Ha.
Here's our merchant
code. Oh, very good.
7 mega.
20. Can I pay with Momo?
Unfortunately, no.
Ha. Baby, let's go.
When paying with MTN Momo comes with more benefits for everyone, it just doesn't make sense not to have it.
Hello, I've come for rent.
Can I pay with Momo?
Yes, you can.
Pay or shop with MTN Momo and get cash back every week. It's free of charge. Use the Momo app or dial *165 *3#.
We are the passion you've been waiting for! It's Yunus Junior Santamo! It's our league, our football, our boys, our style. Start Times UPL new season starts 15th September. Go for it! What a finish from Fukume! The Ugandan flair, Brazilian samba, Portuguese magic, the night football craze. More TV games live on Senyuka Prime and Fufa TV only on Star Times. The Star Times UPL, our league, go for it.
The Ministry of ICT and National Guidance invites you to the 2nd Annual National ICT Job Fair taking place from the 17th to the 18th of October at the Kololo Ceremonial Grounds from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Come and explore internship and job opportunities with some of the biggest brands, networking and training spearheaded by great innovators and business leaders. Visit ict.go.ug/ICT Job Fair and register to be part. The National ICT Job Fair is organized by the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance and Huawei Technologies in partnership with Now Post and Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development, supported by
Whatever sport you enjoy, Sport Action on NBS Sport has you covered. Whether you want to support the Uganda Cranes or our netball team, golf or athletics, both domestic sporting events in Uganda and international sporting events in which Ugandans compete are the subjects of our attention. What are you still holding out for? Catch all the excitement on Sport Action by tuning to NBS Sport, brought to you by MTN, the #1 supporter of Ugandan sports.
To listen.
NBS Frontline.
Boycott.
You're still watching the Frontline on NBS TV. We're discussing Uganda at 61, but majorly the crisis in the opposition political parties, particularly the Forum for Democratic Change. I have been checking my phone to see if the ruling has come out. I see it's about 16 minutes to midnight, and that ruling is not yet out. What does that mean for the planned delegates conference of the Forum for Democratic Change? Basic interpretation of how court systems work, status quo will be maintained because there's no decision, so the delegates conference will likely go ahead organized by the Najanankombi faction of the Forum for Democratic Change. What will that mean for the faction that sits at Katonga? How will they move on after that? What will be next? Let me just take a few messages here, and then I'll get the panelists to continue the discussion. Kakoza Balude is responding to the discussion on independence, and he says, we're entirely depending on the white power system, not independent in any way. That's Kakoza Balude. Another viewer here, Kungu Al-Mahdi, says the FDC constitution grants only the national chairman to call for the delegates conference. If Mr. Birigwa absconded, as Honorable Ekanya claims, how come it is Mr. Toterebuka who put out an announcement inviting delegates for the conference, not the vice chairman? Well, Kungu Muzicha told us that when they arrived at court earlier today, they found a letter signed by one of the vice chairpersons of FDC calling that delegates conference that is supposed to be happening tomorrow. Well, in a few hours from now. Honorable Matembe is saying President Museveni is looking at opposition as enemies. If he calls them for a discussion, can they attend? A man like the Lord Mayor, can he be in the same room with Museveni? William Ruchama in Kavaroli is asking that question. Another viewer here, Ken Wanda says, please ask Honorable Muzuchi, if it's dirty money, how come all that handled it are not reprimanded equally? I hope you understand what he's asking, and you'll give him an answer. Ken Mutenyo is watching us and says, many people in the opposition love blaming Museveni and the NRM for their woes. Is it Museveni who influenced Mr. Birigwa to climb the wall at Najanankombi? Is it Museveni who again told him to climb the wall at Katonga? If people's characters, it is people's characters, it's the quality of members in our opposition. It's the quality of members in our opposition. Secondly, the Katonga group ignored the court order. Why then did they go to court whose order they defied? Are their hands clean? Is it Museveni who is telling Muzuchi to call his colleague a fraudster? Finally, Honorable Muzuchi and his people should stop talking about DP. It's not DP that talked about the dirty money. That's Ken Mutenyo. Ken Mutenyo heads the Electoral Commission of the Democratic Party. Yes. I am watching your program Frontline, and I have watched the Honorable Matembe make an outrageous allegation about me, that I stated that we as NRM have money and no one can defeat us because of that. I have never made such a statement in my life, and I do not ordinarily stand fools gladly. But I know that Honorable Matembe is not a fool. She is the kind of person with her legal training who would have desired from attacking someone in a forum that is unable to defend him or herself. I therefore hope that the public will regard her allegations with the contempt they deserve. The Honorable Sam Kutesa has sent that message. Thank you for that message. I have a message here who says, Samuel in Chevando says, I think Honorable Muzicha has become personal. Blaming authorities on party weaknesses cannot justify his submissions. Let him compose himself and talk to us, the viewers. Samuel in Chevando. Jeff Bidand is watching us and says, it's so unfortunate that it's the leaders who are always fighting, accusing each other, not giving the party members the chance to understand their selfish decisions and motives. The war in FDC, for instance, is only made of about 40 people. Imagine how misleading they are to the whole nation. FDC gave birth to many of those MPs, politicians at large. As you know, the class of politicians in our country is what can I get for myself? It's a shame that they only practice politics of exclusion. My view, let those who think FDC is theirs step aside and leave FDC to get new leaders. FDC is beyond any individual who thinks he thinks for others. That's a message to both of you. I have a message here. That measure is quite a spin, Doctor. Museveni actually preferred change of system from movement to parties because it earned him 2 more terms under the multi-party system before age limit was removed. We are not fooled. They have placed a well-funded, they even placed a well-funded stooge to represent the opposition, which had boycotted the entire exercise. Captain Mike Mukula, FDC problems are historical and are anchored on management style and egocentric practices, which caused the departure of several strong FDC leaders from 2001 when it was formed to date, now with irreconcilable differences. The political contours emerging in FDC resulted from the two centers of power. One is the party headquarters and the other Katonga. Political communication, command and control has been lost. The party is now suffering from a political paralysis and has lost its strategic grip as a leading opposition party. Ideological clarity is critical, and if the party elders fail to reconcile the two groups, the party has hit serious challenge. That's Captain Mike Mukula. Ekanya and his colleagues have carried out selections. There have been no elections anywhere in this country, and this raised issues with NEC. Power virtually dissolved NEC and preferred his selections to what he wants to climax tomorrow. About 800 FDC delegates sat to rescue the party. Where does Ekanya belong? That's a message from Wycliffe Bakandonda. I believe you know him. Let me see. There's so many messages here. I think whatever has legal brains that are behind everything being done at Katonga should be taken back to LDC for a refresher course. Whatever was done on the 18th of September 2023 at Katonga, where Council Areas Lukwago and Mwizuchi were chosen as interim president and acting deputy treasurer general, respectively, is an illegality. Whatever was done there cannot be recognized because court had already issued an injunction against their purported extraordinary delegates conference. I saw Lukwago and Munyagwa arguing that they were not aware of the court order because it was not served to them. Another senior counsel, who is also an FDC member and who taught those two fellows law at Makerere University, said a court order is a court order, which must be respected whether one is served or not. Now, who is fooling who? William Mubiru in Nabingo. William, yes, let me see. I'll take one more message. There's so many. The two groups in FDC are like a married couple that still loves each other, but due to ego, they hire big lawyers in town to each other. I have great respect for Francis Mwizuchi, and I love his political approach. That's why him and Museveni win without hindrance in Buhweju. He knows the politics of coexistence. That one didn't even put a name. I think I should stop the messages at that and come back into yes. No, I think this is what we're able to take. Yeah, this is another message from the Honorable Sam Kutesa, the same as he had sent on WhatsApp. Let's come back into studio here.
Let's make some clarification.
Yes, and a quick question as we make the clarification.
Thank
what happens after tomorrow?
Thank you very much. First of all, like I said, the meeting tomorrow is inconsequential because the delegates conference has already taken a decision, resolved, and we are just implementing the decisions of the delegates conference that sat on the 19th in Kampala. But two, you saw on the 4th, there was a court that sat. Esther Nambai was in court, and he said, I cannot take a decision on the temporary injunction that they had sought, stopping the delegates conference on the 19th. Said, no, I cannot do anything now. It has already happened. That actually means that it was not granted, because when they came to seek for it, because they had accused each other, they had sued each other, and they wanted to do consent. He asked them for submissions. They didn't have submissions, so he said, okay, adjourned until 4th of October. Now 4th came and they said, no, I can't do anything.
So it was already moot.
So which means that the delegates conference took place and it's legally binding. But two, I agree with somebody who said this is between leaders, but we supporters know what to do. I can tell you I have moved around the whole country. This conflict is between leaders. The supporters are very clear. There are some areas in this country where the 4 colleagues go hiding. I was in Kabare. The Honorable Jack Sabit had called a meeting in his house. because he could not have a meeting anywhere in Kigezi because people are very annoyed.
Honorable Jack Sabit is the candidate for party chairman.
Yes, but he cannot have a meeting anywhere in Kigezi. He had the current Jack Sabit had told a meeting in his house because people were running after him and said, we will not allow you to sell our party. That's why I said, unlike the other parties that have taken a certain direction, if this is different because we are deeply rooted. But finally, you see, on the 16th of June, there was a NEC meeting, which stayed away the roadmap for elections and said, one, that we must have a retreat of NEC members to resolve the conflict. Two, we need a meeting between members of parliament and the management committee. Three, we need the elders committee to do some work. Now, immediately, the former party president of FDC, Honorable Amuriat, decided to call off NEC meetings from June. Because according to him...
Did he participate in that particular
Yes, he was.
meeting?
No, that one was chaired by the Honorable Nzo William, not him.
But did he participate? He didn't
No,
participate
he wasn't. But
did Ekanya participate in that meeting?
Ekanya doesn't participate in NEC meetings. I have never seen him in a NEC meeting.
Is he a member of NEC?
He's a member of NEC. I represent him many times when he's not there as the Deputy Treasurer General. I have not seen him in many NEC meetings, but when I am there, he's there.
Did Nathan Nandala Mafai participate in that meeting?
Yes, he was.
Okay.
Now, but he was not, the Honorable Ekanya was not in that very meeting. But in that meeting, the roadmap, which had proposed that elections of the Delegates Conference will happen on the 23rd of November, was stayed pending a retreat for harmony. Now, 2 days later, instead of having a retreat, problems started escalating. And then a committee, which had been recommended by National Council, was put in place. And you know...
Is that the Committee of Elders?
Yes, of Elders.
It wrote a report and your faction
and you know how that ended. But the point I was trying to make was that when the retreat, I mean, when the National Executive Committee stayed the roadmap that was meant for 23rd of November, when finally the chairman came up with the special delegates, extraordinary delegates conference, it was the following day that Toteribuka now came with a notice of this meeting for tomorrow. And when we continue pushing in the media, wherever we went, in meetings to say Toteribuka has no mandate, it is when they forged the letter, called the notice, which is not addressed to anybody. It is not gazetted. It is not published in any newspaper.
Charles, if you entertain this falsehood,
it is that letter that we found today and challenged it in court, because a notice must be either to delegates or to party members or to NEC. But this one is just a general notice, not written to anybody. It was not published in any newspaper. It was not gazetted. And so it is what they say.
Now, Honorable Mizuche, tomorrow, actually in about 8 minutes from now, if you do not hold elections, your constitution says, what will that mean for your constitution? You'll have rendered the party into a constitutional crisis.
Because the meeting sat on the 19th of September and extended the mandate of the current leadership, but also came up with an interim leadership. So there is no problem.
How could it extend the mandate of the current leadership and also create an interim leadership? Isn't that a contradiction?
No. Interim leaders are for the offices that were suspended. The acting president, the acting treasurer general, the acting secretary general, and of course, the electoral commission that had failed to organize elections. So they got interim leaders for those offices.
One more question before I go to Ekanya. FDC has had critical junctions, and at every one of those critical junctions, FDC has lost members and has become weaker. Where will this current crisis leave the party? And I'll give you examples. Honorable Matembe talked about Betty Kamia exiting the party and creating a new political party. You've lost people like Joyce Sebugwao, Beatrice Anywar. You've lost the whole group that went to form the Alliance for National Transformation.
Yes.
That doesn't help FDC, and here you're looking at a major split in the party.
Well, first of all, which group has not lost? Is it the NRM that has not lost members? Then I've lost the senior Matembes. Many people you're talking about in the FDC were in the NRM. So which one has not lost members? But two, for me, I am not looking at just the current party, the current parties in their formation. Because like I told you, the parties have been fought, they have been weakened. Now all that is left is for the disadvantaged, the oppressed, the unemployed to come together against the problem that is known. So whether there is a weak FDC or no FDC, there will be a strong opposition.
Okay.
Because the opposition now must rally together all these efforts. Fortunately, even within the opposition, like I said, Mr. Museveni with his money has helped us to sieve, to know who has been working for him to derail us, to derail this struggle, and now we know. And so we'll be able to move uninterrupted.
Honorable Kanya, a quick one from you, and I'll come to you, Honorable Matembe, to respond to the Honorable Sam Kutesa. He says you're a lawyer, and you accused him when he doesn't have an opportunity to defend himself, and he denies the allegations you made. Honorable Kanya.
Charles, is it fair to grant Honorable Mujushe more than 10 minutes to trade falsehood when it is on record that in his constituency, Bweju, Mr. Museveni gets 90% and he gets 90%, while in Toro County North, we have been defeating Museveni for all these years, and I win as FDC. Who's the who? Who's lying to who in this country? The falsehood that the National Council can usurp the power, NEC can usurp the power of National Council and suspend a constitutional program is a total lie. In fact, Council here said some of these issues are presented in court. The National Executive Committee has no power whatsoever to usurp the power of the National Council. Issues of election are constitutional and time-bound.
For our viewers, we're continuing this conversation on the Afro mobile app. So if you haven't been following us on the Afro mobile app, because the members who send us messages that they start the show on Afro mobile and end it on Afro mobile, please turn on the app and continue watching. The normal programming will continue on that channel. Please.
Frontline.